Happy Monday, gentlemen. Received 4 formal complaints from friends of mine about there not being a video last week. I was on fall break. Most of you know I am a teacher. They occasionally pay us to take time off work. They forced me to, didn't want to do it. But anyway, this is my attempt to reconcile that frustration, to remedy some of that concern that I was not okay. Here I am. I'm doing a Monday morning recap after some time off. This is my prep period. Thank you for paying your taxes. I like the Giants to win outright tonight. For those of you who are interested in the gambling world, I no longer do, but I like to follow the spreads. Giants are going to win. I like Eli to keep it going. Find lots of glory. Beckham supposedly is going to play. Thursday's game, the Falcons inevitably do this. They get us up so high, and then they remind us why they're not elite, and they fumble and throw the ball all around the place and can't hang on. Devonta Freeman's crazy good. Brent can't trade him for anybody. He's you can't move him. Julio Jones, I'm a little concerned as someone who has called Julio Jones the best receiver in the league for 3 or 4 years. That hammy, it doesn't look right. Saints running backs, a little problematic. Mark Ingram has survived due largely to his ability to fall into the end zone, but yard per carry, not impressive. If you can get, you're in a league where you have Ingram, I think if you can somehow get top 10, 12 value for him, or even trade him for a guy like Allen Robinson, that's a move you should make. I just think they're going to involve Spiller more. They haven't looked good. They still have Kyrie Robinson there. If you own stock in anyone on the Saints, it's frustrating. Here we have Revis Island. Don't throw at him. This season, Darrelle Revis himself, not the team, Darrelle Revis himself, has forced 6 turnovers. 6 turnovers. Chris Ivory has great hair, is a monster. He kind of got a couple things stolen away from him yesterday, but I think he had 194 total yards. Jamison Crowder's a guy I've talked about a lot. If you're in a larger league or a daily league and Deshaun Jackson's not playing, he sees targets a lot. He didn't do a lot with them, but 4 straight games with 8 targets from Jamison Crowder. Ryan Fitzpatrick just wins football games. I know I'm not the only one in this league who really likes Ryan Fitzpatrick as a person, as a player. Just solid. Just wins. Just wins. Not sexy, just wins. Great beard. Last time the Cardinals played the Steelers was in the Super Bowl, and Santonio Holmes had the ridiculous catch in the back right corner of the end zone where he got his feet down. They reviewed it. Incredible catch. Great play. Great Super Bowl. He also wore the number 10, and appropriately enough, Martavis Bryant, who wears 10, just went off yesterday. Michael Vick is horrible. Really, really bad. He had 6 passing yards in the first half. Effective. Gets benched. Landry Jones comes in. Finds Martavis. Martavis had a sick 88-yard catch and run that basically iced the game. Arizona looked horrible yesterday. Just looked horrible. This quite possibly, for me, I saw quite a bit of it in the first half. Just not good football. Neither team did anything. Very, very strange game in the first half. Second half, Cardinals in rally mode looked a little better, but I think they're having an identity crisis there in Arizona. Chiefs Vikings, I love Stefon Diggs. I told 2 or 3 people yesterday. By the way, if you're looking to spell that, it's Stefon, Diggs, 2 G's. 9 targets, gets targeted a lot. Teddy loves him on 3rd down. This isn't a fluke. Mike Wallace saw the same amount of targets, didn't do anything with him. Alex Smith is not good. Jamal Charles out. That team, they're going to have a high draft pick. Just leave it at that. A lot of ways to say Alex Smith is not good at football. A lot of statistics out there. You can look those up on your own. Somebody wants AP, come and get him. 26 for 60 yesterday. Just not loving the way they're using him. Take a moment of silence to remember Chris Henry, a fallen Bengal. I think the Bengals will they'll come down soon. I'm not an Andy Dalton guy. He's been really good. Those weapons are elite. This 2 running back situation, to me, Giovanni Bernard's a much better player. But the Hill has a role there. At some point, they're a passing team. There's just so many weapons. This Sammy Watkins is just this to me. I never forgot to get hurt, but this is hilarious. Sammy Watkins last week. Those of you who may not have seen. He comes out and he basically says, hey, I need more targets. They're not using me. They look stupid. They're making me look bad. They're making themselves look bad. Okay? So He hadn't played in the 2 prior games. In his career, which could have now been 22 games after this week, he would have been active for 22 games total. He has had 7 different injuries already in his career. Okay, 7 different reasons to miss a game. Misses 2 games and says, hey, why haven't I been being targeted? Well, you guys look stupid. Ridiculous. Okay, he comes in, scores a touchdown. On that touchdown, sustains an injury that causes him to be on crutches. You're an idiot, Sammy Watkins. You know, I'm a supporter of Clemson players. A lot of explosive ones. My boyfriend, C.J. Spiller. Trampus and Mark's boyfriend, DeAndre Hopkins. Sammy Watkins, another Clemson guy. I think Martavis Bryant went to Clemson as well. A lot of explosive athletes. Just dumb. Bears and Lions, this was a fantastic game. As I said here on the PowerPoint, if you're reading, battle of 2 terrible quarterbacks who throw exclusively into double coverage when possible. Okay. But staph infection, big game. It's a big game for the staph infection. Throws 4 glories and many yards, including a jump ball to Calvin, 54-yarder to set up the game-winning field goal in overtime. Alshon had a big game. Both of those guys are obvious starts. I think Calvin's beast mode, hashtag, however the kids would do that, is somewhat matchup dependent. I don't think that this is what he's going to be. I think he's a top 15 play every week. But both of these guys are going to see volume. And if you haven't seen Golden Tate's touchdown, no touchdown, I mean, it's ridiculous. They need to do something. If something looks like a touchdown, let's call it a touchdown, because that was not a touchdown. Just silly. Speaking of Transformers, Megatron, let's pause a moment for our favorite Transformers character. A true winning personality, good human being, a young Megan Fox. Braylon Edwards pictured here on the Broncos-Browns recap because Cleveland dropped the ball on a here, take this game. The Browns had this game won so many times. Peyton was terrible. He has 7 touchdowns and 10 picks on the year. It's really sad. I have some statistics on here again for those of you going through and reading. Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders combined for 28 targets yesterday. And there was 1 touchdown. 70 of Emmanuel Sanders' yards came on a play in which the corner and safety ran into each other inexplicably. If you take out that 70-yard play, they would have combined for 150 yards on 28 targets. Do the math. Not good. It just tells you everything about Peyton's arm strength. And as somebody who's a Peyton fan, love his career, everything about him, just sad. Texans-Jags. I am higher on Jaguars players from a fantasy perspective than anyone. And that is because fantasy, we don't care about the score. As a late friend of mine said, I don't care who wins on Sundays. I care who puts up the stats, right? And the Jaguars are going to do it every week in that passing game. I like Blake Bortles. I like Allen Robinson as both top 8 at their position the rest of the way. And that's because the Jags are going to be losing. They're a passing team to begin with. It's predictable, the game plan that they will have to put together, especially in the second halves. And DeAndre Hopkins is ridiculous. He's just really good. Clemson guy. Just a freak. I think teams will start doubling him. The Jaguars did not double him once yesterday. It's not part of their defensive philosophy. Didn't work out very well for him. DeAndre won the game late. After a slow first half, really. I think he had 3 for 33 in the first half. This is Ryan Tannehill's wife, who is much better at everything than he is. I blew my mind how much money they gave him as an unproven quarterback. And really, the analysis about this Dolphins-Titans game, excluding the quarterbacks, so if you want to play them on a matchup, that's fine. Not a fan of either one at this point in their careers. Lamar Miller and Delaney Walker are the only players worth rostering on these professional tackle football teams. Drop the rest of them. Cam Newton yesterday, he's had some big games. He had a game-winning drive to beat New England last year on a primetime game, I believe Monday night. But he went into Seattle, and in my opinion, Cam Newton does more as far as carrying his team than anyone in the history of the NFL, at least I'm 29 in my lifetime. They don't even block for him, and his team is undefeated. And you know, a lot of people say it's a dominating defense. Defense gave up 23 points yesterday, I believe. But Cam does everything, and he doesn't have good weapons. But Greg Olsen for the win, game-winning touchdown throw. Really cool moment as somebody who's a Cam fan. Jimmy Graham had a good game. He was targeted, had is yet to find glory meaning touchdown, on the season. But I also made a note there. Cam and Wilson's floors are very high, but their upsides are super based on matchup. Brief water break. I'd like to also endorse Blake Lively's career due to her great soul, winning personality, and kind smile. We'll continue. This was one of the strangest games I've ever seen. Chargers at Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, they're not the Packers. They're Aaron Rodgers. Very strange game. Phil Rivers threw it 65 times in 5 football fields worth of yardage. 2 glories. The Chargers ran 89 offensive plays. The Packers ran 49. Edward Wayne Lacy. Don't know if that's his middle name. 4 carries, 3 yards, many tears shed. Strangest game I've ever seen. Somehow, with all those numbers, the Packers win. Steve Smith at the 49ers. We have a tale of dead running backs, Forsett and whatever the heck, Carlos Hyde. They've kind of disappeared from relevance. Steve Smith, monster season. Monster season. Really, Niners won because of 3 big plays. Torrey Smith occasionally will remind us that he's relevant and still existing. One of those I know was to him, long pass play. Kaepernick just kind of limits the ceiling of receivers. This Colts game last night, and for those of you following along on the PowerPoint, this play on this punt, fake punt, unbelievable. But I also made a note that Tom Brady is so obsessed with Julian Edelman. He has shirtless pictures of Julian Edelman all over his house, in his bathroom, in his wallet. He shows people, here's my Julian. He just, I think he targeted Edelman like 6 of their first 8 plays. He's the perfect Tom Brady. I want to throw it 3 yards type of guy. So Garrett Blunt made a baby with Marshawn Lynch. What would that baby look like? Your obvious ones are here. Luck, Brady, better than most professional quarterbacks, and most college guys. Riley Neal's pretty good. Here are my bold thoughts and predictions. Gray, 50 Shades of Clay, will defy all odds and complete an active roster for the rest of the season. Field a complete and active roster. Jesse is going this week to attempt to trade Calvin Johnson or T.Y. Hilton for a decent running back, top 12, this week, but he will also claim he is not selling high. Ryan, butt buddies, will admit he has killed Danny and moved in with Jessica, but he will refuse to change the team name. He and Jessica will continue to co-own. Welcome. Han's wife, Chris Hahn, will begin sending sexy selfies to all members of the league rather than only me. And this was something that I pushed for. I wanted each of you to know her inner and outer beauty rather than just myself and Brent. 11 out of 11 teams will vote for Chris to be removed in favor of his wife, who will play for free rather than the $100 entry fee. Coming soon, I will have a preview and analysis for this coming week, likely Friday. I'd like to thank our sponsors. I forget the name of Tyler's Lumber Company, but certified, bonded, trusted, Tyler Johnston Incorporated. More than 20 years of honest relationships, unparalleled quality. You also see Betty White wanted to support us this week. She was willing to send some sexy selfies. I have those. We'll see if they come out. Trampus Whalen, the Tesler Adler Whalen law offices in Noblesville. You see him, his beautiful face there. Also the state of West Virginia. Our exit music this week is provided by Omi featuring Kid Ink, Cheerleader, the remix. Much better than the original.
Kid Ink. I think I found a genie in a bottle bag with a bottle shape, but she don't have no problem representing for the team. Okay, it's feeling like I just hit the lotto, baby. 32, 26, 34. Where's it? Watch you do a dance and it get me in the game. Going hard in the paint. What's my name? What's my name, girl? You know I be missing that bomb when I'm away. I swear when you shaking them pom-poms, all I can say. I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She is always right there when I need her.